Hey everybody, this is Greg Koo, Ross Video Sports and Live Events Senior Content and Workflow Specialist. Today I'm excited to show you a new feature between version 10 of XPression and version 9 of Dashboard. This feature is going to allow you to stream a countdown from a take item directly from XPression to Dashboard across your network. Now let's take a look at what we're going to end up building. Now here you can see I have 3 pieces of content playing on 3 individual layers, and inside Dashboard I have 3 countdown timers that are counting down to each clip's duration. Okay, let's take a look at how we can get this set up for you. Now the first thing we need to do is on the XPression side is a small configuration to your hardware setup. First, we're going to go to Edit, Hardware Setup. Next, we'll go to the Timecode IO tab. We'll click Add, and from the drop-down, we're going to select Countdown Timer Broadcast. Now here, we have 2 options. One, we can stream this countdown directly to a dashboard to an IP address, or we can broadcast this timecode across our entire network, which is what we're going to do here. I'm going to type in my broadcast IP range. For your site, it will probably be different. And next, we're going to leave the port at the default 8021. Now, that number is going to be important to remember later on when we set up the dashboard. The next option we have is what layers we want to include. So really, this boils down to what layers of the XPression we want to stream the timecode of. Now, I know I have pieces of content that I want to stream that are going to be played on layers 100 and 150. I can just easily add this to my list using a comma. Now that we have that set up on the XPression side, the other thing we want to do is make sure that our scene is set up in such a way that the duration is going to be calculated correctly. Now, one big key part of our workflow is we like to set up a scene called a drop scene. All this scene is a quad that is published, and it just has a video material on it. Now, the one important part of this video material can be found in its video shader. This video shader has the checkbox enabled to adjust the scene director to match the clip length. So when we drag in a clip from our clip browser, this will automatically adjust this duration of this scene. Okay. Now the next part that we're going to configure is on the dashboard side. So I'm going to switch over to dashboard, and here we'll have our new blank custom panel file. I'm going to go into edit mode, and I'm going to select widget and drag and drop and draw where I want this widget to go. Now from the insert widget panel, I'm going to select XPression Countdown 1.0 and double click to edit. Now here is that port number that I had mentioned earlier that XPression is streaming across. So by default, that port is 8021. I'm going to set up the frame buffer I want to capture. So in this case, I'm going to capture frame buffer 1, and I'm going to leave my layer at 0. Now we'll come back to this individual control, but right now I'm just going to leave this as the default widget. I'm going to select apply and close, and then switch back over to XPression. Now in the sequencer mode, I'm going to take my scene that has our video material, and I'm going to go into my clip browser and drag in my new piece of content. Now from here, as soon as I start playing this clip, we'll see that in dashboard, I'm going to get the countdown of what is left inside of that clip. Okay, so let's expand this out a little further. Inside the dashboard UI, if you want to customize these countdowns, if you don't want to be restricted to the default look of this, this is where you have these options to show which individual piece of this widget you want. Now, if you only want the countdown, you can click Countdown. Now you'll notice though, it sort of seems to go away, but if that clip starts to play again, we'll get our countdown. Now it's rather small and very default. To edit this, if we go back into the edit properties, there's this individual data style. We'll click edit. Now here is where we can edit the background color, add a border, change the font color and the font size. So I'm going to give this a dark background. We'll go with a green border, bold font, and I want the font to be very large, so I'm just going to type in 120, and I want that font to be green. Now when we play another clip, we'll see that it is a style that we can set up and customize on our own. Now to see the full picture of this, if I want to have multiple countdowns monitoring each individual layer and output of my XPression, all I have to do is add more countdowns to my dashboard. So for example, this video here is on layer 0 of output 1, and take ID 3005 is going to go to frame buffer 2, layer 100. Now all I have to do is go into dashboard. I'm going to copy and paste my countdown using Control-C, Control-V. I'm going to double click on that widget, change my frame buffer to 2, add my layer of 100, and now we'll be able to see I have 2 individual countdown clocks for each individual layer and output of my XPression. I hope everyone finds this feature useful and another great example of the integration between dashboard and XPression.